formative CV, according to you, might be doing very well in the private sector where things operate the way she wants. And here in the government sector, whereby you have a lot of saboteurs who want to bring down your job, may not help you.
Do you think she was doing well enough?
The reality of my position is that, see, we can determine who is doing well or not by their performance. And this performance will come to the public. You can't say somebody is a minister and is working behind the doors or whatever, wherever she's working.
The youth minister, you think, did not do well?
There is a lot that is needed as far as youth is concerned.
So with all the programs that ministry has rolled out,
employment? What is the level of employment?
So the youth minister will employ everybody. We should be the one to employ everybody, or she will put in place things that will make.
It's important to note that
make public efforts.
It's important to note that a couple of persons have been ministers have had their positions changed, and one of them is Ayodele Olawande, minister.
So you have people working for your ideas. So that's what I'm telling you about being a minister. You are working for the president's idea and the people. Yes. So you need to, if you're bringing to fruition my ideas, I keep you. You're not bringing to fruition my ideas, you go.
It's also important to
so that means you're not bringing
on this lady. Sorry, on this lady.
Yes, Dr. Jamila.
What I'm saying is that it could be a situation, a illness, a ill health, the poison you talk about. It could be that okay.
That is not youth.
This is the youth.
We are talking about the youth. The person that is sick is not the youth.
Yes, that was the tourism. Also, we have a couple of other ministers who have been moved around. Uba Maigari Amadu has been moved from the Minister of State Steel Development to the Minister of State Regional Development. Just still State Minister, just a swap. Dr. Doris Uzoke Anite was formerly with the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. Now she's now the Minister of State for Finance. Senator John Owan Eno, of course, I think everybody knows him. The Sports Minister has now been moved to the Minister of State for Trade and Investment. Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim, the Minister of State Police Affairs, has now been made the Minister of Women Affairs. That was Dr. Barrister Uju Kennedy's former position. Dr. Salako Isiaq Adekunle Adeboye, formerly of the Minister of State Environment, is now going to be Minister of State Health. Quick question, 30 seconds each. Some of these guys are moving from a field they are familiar with to an entirely new field. How is somebody like a former sports minister to cope now? Because how is such a man to cope? How it's easy for someone like Ayola Wande, who was state minister for youth, stepping up, becoming the main minister. But what of somebody is moving to health? Somebody's moving to finance from industry. Okay,
let's look at the finance and industry.
From police, you are moving to women affairs.
So, about managing ourselves, managing our situation and our resources. You don't need a CV from one big school to function as the minister. Nobody can be a minister and do very well. So, what I'm saying is that these guys are capable, but they are going to bring to fruition our ideas, our dreams and aspirations as a country, and that of the president. So if they can do that, and if he sees that, okay, these people can achieve my aim, so he takes them and put them. Take, for instance, the one from industry, now finance.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, industry, finance, maybe. Anybody can do that. I can't even be a finance minister and I'll function very well.
I don't think I agree with that. You don't
think you agree?
You don't just bring anybody to be a minister.
Are they square pegs in square hole?
You don't just. You
think I can be a minister and I won't function well?
No.
So our members there, those who are managing this company.
Okay.
You have people in that ministries that may have evil agenda.
So that's what I'm saying.
If you are not grounded in the knowledge of what they are doing,
grounded in the knowledge of administration, in the knowledge of administration, or in the knowledge of
the task.
What task that is so equivalent that you can't solve? So are you saying if I make you the managing director of NDDC, you can't solve NDDC problem?
Listen,
if you make it the minister of water resources, you can't deal with
the managing director of NDDC, and we have to start to learn.
So are you saying you can't? I'm just asking.
I will do. I will learn.
All right, let's move on.
What I'm saying is that they are capable, they can function, and they can bring things to fruition.
Yeah, interesting. I understand both angles really well. Saying, can't you make yourself a square peg and put yourself in a square hole.
Yeah.
But the question is, why not put a square peg in a square hole? So I get his point. I get both
you
points.
can function. It's dynamic. You are human. That's why you're created to have brains.
Talking about the PDP crisis and the major factor in the entire PDP crisis. The acting chairman Damagun has, caused a lot of issues. I mean, I'm not being negative. Now, just saying, some are pro Damagun, some are anti Damagun. Some people are asking him to step down. Some persons are saying no, don't step down. We are with you all along, and you're going to complete the tenure. PDP chairman and a whole lot. I think I'll be staying with you, Daniel. The issues are still on. The PDP issues. They're supposed to be the biggest opposition party. They have the highest number of governors opposition-wise. They have the highest number of senators opposition-wise. They have the highest number of House of Rep members opposition-wise. But we can't even feel the voice of the opposition. It looks like the opposition is aligning with the ruling party. And then if there was any time the Nigerian people needed the opposition to speak, this is the time they needed the opposition to be criticizing the every move, or at least most moves, of the ruling party. But the house of the PDP is not in order.
So it just come to the same thing I was saying some time ago, where I said we have a situation now that the opposition parties, the PDP, the LP, are now, they have been placed in a situation where they end up becoming or having internal problem, that they have lost focus of what they should be doing as opposition party. Now, the crisis within the PDP we know started even before the election. There is internal wrangling issues, which was one of the, in fact, the major reason why they lost the 2023 presidential election. Because the house was not settled. Even the Bible have said it. Can two work together except they agree? So when their house was not settled. So, and this is the same thing playing. So looking ahead to 2027, we are seeing a situation whereby if these political parties do not settle their house and put the necessary things in place, then they will definitely forfeit the next election. Now, that is one side. The other angle is that we are already seeing that there are a lot of persons that is in support of the Damagun led faction. Today I saw a statement from the Abia states, stakeholders from the Abia states, that they were pledging allegiance, of course, like a vote of confidence for the Damagun led faction. So you can see such situations. So, of course, but what I would definitely advise is that these opposition parties should put their house in order. The PDP should put their, if you need to do the necessary conventions, do it. If you need to do whatsoever thing that you need, do it. Put the house in order. But my own grouse, specifically for PDP, is what? Why would a single person be creating issues?
Who is that single person?
Wicked.
How could you just hold that man responsible for that? How did you say it's wicked? He's weird.
See. You see, the politics within that party started, like I said, even before the election. And Wiki has said it, that the FCT minister, he has said it that, yes, so having a grouse with this and this. And recently we saw him said it publicly that
Damagun is, he has said publicly as well that Damagun is not his man.
Okay. So if he said Damagun, okay, you can see why. That is why I said, you can see he has a faction that is not supporting
for or against him, and that is not his friend like people are saying he is.
But the reality remains that we all know that there are factions, and that is the reason why you are having this. If these factions decide to come together, because the party had crisis even before the election, having somebody to come up as the authentic chairman now becomes difficult because of the issues that will definitely spring up before the 2027 election. So they believe, and I believe the oppositions and why they are having these things, believe that they need somebody to be the chairman that will be generally acceptable. And they can't come to consensus with that. Because Wike is one faction, Atiku is another faction. And so both of them, they are trying to install their person as the national chairman.
All right.
So that's the reality.
Now, the PDP is supposed to be helping the Nigerian people. I mean, I think many persons have said the APC was a better opposition party than as a ruling party. Now, if PDP is half as good as APC when they were in the opposition, I think we'll be having brighter issues being discussed every day. And then the APC will know that somebody is at his back watching their every decision. But now it looks like Twitter or X is more of an opposition to this government than The opposition party.
I disagree with you to say that. They are still the number one opposition party.
But they are not.
The problem is that
they are not doing their duty.
That's what you think. Every day.
No, they are not.
At regular interval, they release statements.
If they are, we will know the Minister for Information because every day we'll be writing rejoinders to their every
They
account.
do that. Olobodiyan was doing that one time. Even the current one, what's his name, is also doing it.
Ologun
Agba was also doing it.
For the fact that you even have to think about it 3 times.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing. Because they have internal wrangling, which looks like if it's superseding what they needed to be doing as an opposition party, and there is also faction, that party is also still strong. It's a viable party that can take the government at any time when the people are ready. Now, for me, I think they are going about it the right way, going to the law court to sort this out. There will always be issue in human gathering. There will always be issue. But the way we trash it out should be appropriate. You go to the law court, you settle it. So the court has given Damagun the final say, look, you cannot remove this guy until a convention is held. So let's go to the convention. Before now, there was no court judgment. So everybody was trying to do the Jankara style to get somebody in or get somebody out. So but having said that, now that the court have decided, I think everybody should obey by that ruling and go to the court and sort things, do convention and sort things out appropriately. They will get their act right. They will get their act right. But the problem is that they will also, it's politics. They will also have to what? Follow. Wait till when the next campaign and election comes. You see, you discover that the party will just find its way and realign quickly and they are moving on. Because the thing is that for now, it's how to get the head of the party. It's not how to get the machinery of government. So you are having issues. But the moment it becomes, look, how to get the machinery of government, they will align. No matter the differences. The differences are, look at the ABC you're looking at. Just wait till when things get a little bit shaky. You will see it will divide and it will come back again. It's part of being human and living. We disagree to agree. We agree to disagree. So for me, it's a way of life. It's a way of men. But they will get their act right. It's a trial for them and they will sort things out as time goes.
All right. Finally, we are going to be talking about the national grid. And it's very, very, very often collapsed. I mean, we had 3 falls. 3 collapses this month alone, and that is so far because we never know what may happen tomorrow. The month ends on Thursday next week, but as at now we've had 3 in the last 1 month. 3 in October. Let's buy the millions and billions that have been spent. We saw representatives of that sector speaking earlier this week and giving reasons why the grid keeps collapsing. And then many persons have called out the minister and said, what is going on? You started bringing bans into this thing. Nigerians are paying more for electricity. And then for the first time in a long time, this collapsing have been more frequent. I mean, it happened last week. I think it happened twice last week. There was a partial collapse on Tuesday. There was one upper. You know, it's what's going on.
There's even a collapse on Monday. People didn't notice. There's a blackout for the northeast, northwest, and north central. They are having issues.
What's going on?
But it's so interesting that I want people to know that what is the grid? The grid is a supply of electricity from generation, transmission to distribution till it gets to your house. So those things are grid. But at one point, it will be faulty. I want people to know that.
Yeah.
It could just develop fault. But what we should do is, how do we respond quickly to discovering? And if you notice, this government said they have bought an equipment that can help them to detect this fault. I've been issued there. I think they don't have the capacity to do this. But now, there's the government is spending money, government is working towards sorting out this problem. I beg to be corrected, but I know the government is working. The last report we read before coming here was that the one in Benue, they are discovered one fault in Benue now, and they're going to fix in one very thick swamp.
Yes.
It's working.
They said discovered yesterday night. Yesterday evening around 5 p.m. And they have to fix it and all that.
So how proactive, this things happen all over the world, but how proactive, how do we respond to these things and solve them immediately? We should be able to cut time every time. If we're spending 1 hour, can we reduce it to 30 minutes? Because people need your light. I had a friend who told me that, look, when she was in UK, just for 30 minutes, when they took their light, the way they all came outside, it has never happened. The way they all came outside, you think there was war, there was a crisis. The people came outside and they were lamenting. But the response of the government too was of those in charge, even if it's a private company. The response was good, the response time. So we too should have such kind of thing. It will happen. Anything can happen at that grid. Vandals do vandalizes national grid. Vandal go there, steal the cables, steal the wires, and so on. And we have these issues. Sometimes it could be overloading. Electricity comes too heavy, and there's a broken.
But does this not happen too often? I mean, and Nigerians not meant to.
May I ask a question? Your generator, those of you who have generator at home, haven't you fixed it now and it breaks down again and it breaks down again until you fix it properly? He is smiling. He thinks it should happen. It can happen. Now, it is not. It is not forever.
We are thinking in October. And October is not over because we may still have one tomorrow.
I think first, let me.
But the last one,
it can happen.
It was as a result of.
And note that it's not at a particular point that this is happening.
The last one happened in Jeba was, the cost was as a result of a transformer that broke down in Jeba. Even though the CCN and NERC said that now, NERC themselves have said they want to start a full-blown investigation into why all of this is happening. But perhaps they are just playing to the gallery. Perhaps they are doing all this because Nigerians have gotten to a point where we are just frustrated and tired. But you want to say, obviously you wanted to say something.
Yes, I really want to come in there. You see,
please come in.
I am happy that they are not blaming the NLC this time around for causing the grid collapse. Yes, I'm so happy because they are not saying that, yes, it is the protesters that have gone there to shut down the grid again. The reality is that, let's stop saying the government are working. What is the evidence of work when you cannot see the effect of it? To say governments are working, we had grid collapse. It is security risk for us to be having grid collapse, and we don't even have solution to it. But when can you reflect the speed at which the government will react if this actually has to be one policy that they quickly want to enact in their favor? Overnight, you will see these policies are being enacted. You will see that these things are being put in place. Overnight, these things will be done. If it has to do with something that the government needs.
Like the national anthem.
God bless you. Like the national anthem and every other, some of these things. You can't tell me that the government is working when we are experiencing grid collapse. For that matter, what is the government doing? What is the work that they're doing?
You have a
the
car.
reality is
Your
that
car
if we
can
are going
break
to have a
down
government
often.
that will work, that will function, we should not be experiencing such things consistently.
How do
See,
you
listen. Nigeria has gotten. How old are we today?
As old as we are.
We have gotten to the level where this should not be our problem again. Electricity supply. We are supplying Benin, supplying Togo. 24-hour supply.
Agreed.
Electricity supply.
Yes.
But here we are. That we are still complaining.
So how big is Togo? What is the amount of electricity? Because the way you're saying it, hold on, you're saying as if you are supplying the whole of Togo light all through.
The reality remains
they still
that
go through
you don't
problems.
even supply when you don't have. Do you
Hold
supply
on.
what you don't have?
Do you know the contract we have? Before we build our Kanji Dam, do you know the contract you have with them with this country?
No matter
you
supply them.
You must. There are issues.
No matter the contract. What I'm saying here is that no matter the contract we have anywhere,
we should be full.
We should have this.
So also letting you know that in this same country there are people who enjoy like 24/7, and they don't take in this same country.
The Bande people.
It's not even about but those who stay in Wawa here, are they in Bande?
So they are lesser human beings than.
No, hold on. I'm not saying somebody is there. No. I want us to be realistic when we say these things. Let's know that there is always a fault. You can solve the grid problem.
How many years have we been having grid collapse?
It's all. Is it an
we keep open. We keep open.
No. We are not even. If we are talking about generation now, say okay, we should improve generation. We are talking about grid collapse. It could be a wire somewhere. It could be a fault somewhere. And
Nigerians deserve more than what we are having.
But we don't have so many grid collapses in the United States.
Oh, don't say that. Have you gone to their news and
yes,
they have grid? They have when they have tsunamis, when they have flooding, they have issues like that. Okay, so now no. Don't say that. No. Now, please note that this grid collapse, when you talk about it, might not be at one particular junction. It might not be just one place.
The entire country's light goes off.
It's possible.
And do you know what is possible within that time that we have that grid collapse?
How many hours did it take?
The insecurity risk. The risk to the life of the common Nigerians.
That's what we're saying.
Then what is the essence why we have government? Why did we have them elected? People line up to vote for them.
But again, let's tell ourselves the truth now, which is that the
It's beyond explanation.
Transmission responsibility. The company handling this.
Okay. Now it's
not a private company.
Let's look for
so they will improve.
What?
Agree that it's not good for us to have it often, but these companies will improve.
What is the solution to this?
The solution is that one, Nigerians deserve 24 hours electricity. Water should not be problem. See, listen. The reason why you have government is to ensure that these basic things that is needed.
Welfare of the people.
Not that a Nigerian will be buying
the basic needs is also not free.
Electricity, be putting borehole in place to provide themselves water. And we will still be going to collect tax.
So let's look at it like this. That is why you are seeing this policy now that we are all complaining about. Because you want to have light regularly.
Yes.
Hence, the price, are you ready to pay for the price?
Then you should make Nigerians.
So, hold on. So, that's why somebody is investing 12 billion. How much the David father said is investing in his generation? So, these are the things you are saying. It's a private thing. So, you want to have light 24/7? We are going to pay for it, and heavily. It's not going to be cheap. Note that. It's not free.
All right.
So, we want it, we will get it, but we will not get it cheap. These things are not freebies. People are going to invest their money in it and they will make their money.
Then let's have it without greed collapse.
So you will have it. Even the greed you are talking about very soon now. It will not be government responsibility again. You will not be able to hold the government responsibility for a greed. It will be that of the company and the discourse is supposed to even be responsible.
Any have said they are going to be having a full-blown investigation into this matter. We just hope it doesn't start and end on the pages of the newspaper. We just hope that it doesn't start and end on the pages of their social media handles and just words off the mouth of their spokespersons and their publicity reps. But unfortunately, my producers are saying it's time for us to close the show. We've been having a very great time so far. You can see fire and energetic analysis of our analyst lips. And unfortunately, time is no longer our friend, and it's time for us to go. Thank you very much for being a part of today's package. Like I always say, we are here because you are there. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate your time. Join us same time next week for the last episode of the Roundtable for the month of October. Indeed, it has been an October to remember. Tomorrow is Friday. The weekend begins tomorrow. Don't be weekend.